Understanding the transformations that will occur on planet Earth in its entirety requires a deep and multidimensional analysis of the historical evolutionary process. The collective memory of humanity, often obscured by the limitations imposed by material experience and the density of matter, tends to forget significant events that occurred in the most remote eras, periods that, although distant in time, remain fundamental to understanding not only the present, but also the future of humanity and its role in the vast universe. The spirit, when immersed in carnal existence and in the challenges imposed by materiality, loses the ability to access the full memory of its being, which deprives it of remembering its previous experiences, so that it allows itself to be influenced by the material blindness that it prevents the remembrance of past experiences, and thus loses the sense of its true purpose. This widespread forgetfulness, which became increasingly pronounced over the millennia, was particularly evident in historical periods in which ignorance prevailed, and knowledge was kept restricted to elitist circles that controlled knowledge and manipulated access to the truth. During these times of intellectual oppression, those who opposed established truths and questioned dogmatic doctrines and absolute truths imposed by society were often persecuted, marginalized, and even burned as heretics, with their ideas being classified as heresies or affronts to the established order. In many cases, books and knowledge that could contribute to the spiritual and intellectual advancement of humanity were destroyed, and religious, philosophical, and political institutions exercised rigid and relentless control over thought, preventing any form of questioning and cultivating widespread ignorance. Scale. However, even in the midst of these severe restrictions and constant oppression, several cycles of rise and fall occurred, in which light and dark alternated, bringing about transformations that shaped the cultures and civilizations that mark the history of humanity. Whether through the emergence of great thinkers, or through the destruction of empires and the rise of new empires. During different eras of history, the people of Earth have been influenced by dynasties and cultures that have contributed significantly to the advancement of human knowledge, including the Atlantean, Egyptian, and Greek cultures, whose legacies continue to profoundly impact humanity to this day. These civilizations were responsible for intellectual and spiritual advances of great magnitude in philosophy, science, mathematics, and spirituality, in addition to representing the culmination of an era that saw the fall of the Roman Empire, whose decline not only shook the foundations of Western civilization, but it also marked the end of an era of knowledge and wisdom that was tried to preserve, in every way through adherence to Christianity, in a desperate attempt to perpetuate domination over humanity. In this context of transition, humanity found itself facing a radical change, as the direct connection with the divine and cosmic forces was obscured by an incessant search for material power and the construction of a social structure that dissociated the spirit from its true essence. What was once lived as a spiritual experience directly connected with higher planes and cosmic wisdom became increasingly subject to the control of a materialistic and selfish system, which aimed to prioritize domination and exploration to the detriment of self-knowledge and expansion. Spiritual. The loss of humanity's cosmic connection was a gradual and painful process, resembling the slow extinguishing of a star in the vast sky of the universe. Over the ages, human generations have progressively distanced themselves from their celestial and cosmic origins, forgetting their true spiritual nature and greater purpose. However, many souls from other star systems and galaxies continue to actively contribute to Earth's evolutionary plan, participating in the spiritual and physical transformation of the planet. These souls, who had reached higher degrees of evolution in their cosmic origins, voluntarily chose to incarnate on Earth to help in the vibrational elevation of humanity, bringing with them a deep knowledge of universal laws and the connection between all forms of life. From star systems such as Sirius, highly evolved and enlightened beings, in different incarnations throughout history, influenced the culture, thought, and beliefs of different civilizations, shaping philosophical and spiritual figures such as Pythagoras, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle, whose ideas even today continue to resonate and influence humanity. These cosmic influences were not limited to the intellectual field, but also deeply impacted the Earth's spiritual and energetic field, establishing a link between human beings and universal energies. Although most technological and scientific advances throughout history have occurred through the collaboration of elevated spirits and the intervention of extraterrestrial cultures that communicated with Earth, The influence of these civilizations on the planet was not restricted to the intellectual or scientific field. Many ancient cultures, such as the Egyptians, revered the star Sirius as a point of connection with higher dimensions and the cosmic forces that govern the universe. The ancient Egyptians, for example, built pyramids with precise, geometric proportions designed to reflect the light of this star and to serve as access points for other vibrational frequencies. These pyramids were not mere tombs or funerary structures, but initiatory temples that opened portals to other realms and dimensions, using advanced technologies and esoteric knowledge that were beyond the reach of humanity at the time. The correspondence between the geometric principles of the pyramids and the mathematical laws of the cosmos functioned as a fundamental key to access astral energies, and thus, enable communication with beings from other planes. In this context, interplanetary travel was facilitated by spiritual ships with a high vibrational frequency, which aligned perfectly with the pyramids, allowing communication and travel between different planes of existence and dimensional realities, connecting Earth with other parts of the cosmos. Sumerian records dating back more than 3,000 years before Christ tell the story of how humanity was formed and how Homo sapiens appeared on Earth suddenly, after a long phase of evolution from the Neanderthal species, leaving many questions unanswered. Answers in the field of paleoarchaeology and human genetics. The abrupt emergence of Homo sapiens with its advanced abilities, such as the use of tools and the cultivation of the land, still defies the explanations of traditional science, which is unable to provide a coherent explanation for the genetic origin of this modern human being. The sudden and highly adapted appearance of Homo sapiens suggests an external and deliberate intervention by extraterrestrial beings or cosmic entities, who carried out genetic manipulation to perfect humanity's physical bodies, in order to allow the incarnation of more evolved spirits, originating from different planes. Superior or other star systems. These cosmic beings, when reincarnated on Earth, needed bodies that were more refined and prepared to withstand the high vibrational frequencies of their consciousness, which led to genetic manipulation that altered the DNA of the human species, creating a new type of being more capable to reflect spiritual and cosmic energies. The molecular restructuring of human bodies not only improved the physical capabilities of the species, but also aligned the human spirit with its true cosmic origin, preparing it to fulfill a higher mission on Earth's evolutionary plane. This divine and cosmic intervention in humanity's evolutionary process reveals that evolution does not occur randomly or accidentally, but is guided by a superior cosmic intelligence, which guides the development of the human spirit throughout its journey. The divine plan of evolution for the third millennium indicates that the Earth is going through a process of spiritual ascension, in which the planet, which was previously considered a place of trials and expiations, is being promoted to a plan of regeneration. This process of spiritual ascension is gradual and progressive, not occurring abruptly, but rather being marked by a series of transformations that will affect both the physical environment and human consciousness. These planetary changes are not limited to a physical phenomenon, but also involve an inner change in the souls that inhabit the planet. Humanity will go through a process of spiritual purification, in which higher consciousnesses will help guide individuals and social groups to a new way of living, based on fraternity, universal love, and the search for spiritual truth. However, humanity is still immersed in the illusion of matter, pursuing fleeting pleasures and superficial values, such as the search for wealth, power, physical beauty, and fame. These illusions, although they offer momentary satisfaction, are sources of suffering and spiritual delay, and represent obstacles that must be overcome so that humanity can reach a new stage of evolution. True happiness and fulfillment do not lie in the fleeting pleasures of matter, but rather in the deep connection with divine consciousness, and in the practice of the spiritual teachings of Christ, which must be internalized and experienced in everyday life. The future of humanity and the Earth is closely linked to changing consciousness, and future generations will live in a more mystical, spiritual, and conscious reality, with a more intense mediumistic exchange and a deeper understanding of the cosmic nature of existence. In this video, we explore the profound transformations that will occur on Earth and the fundamental role of humanity in its evolutionary journey. Through connecting with cosmic forces, spiritual ascension is underway, and this is the time to awaken to our true purpose. Join us on this journey of enlightenment and spiritual transformation,